say. All right, then. So let's just settle. And I'm thinking for the people in the Gomper, maybe just sit on your cushions and is the screen facing you as you're looking at the altar, Matt? So just sit facing towards the altar and as comfortably as you can. And Matt, do you have chairs there? Because it might be nice when we do our feet thing for people to be on chairs or standing. And do you guys have tennis balls there or dryer balls? Tennis balls or dryer balls? Can run off and get them, go grab. And if you don't, it doesn't matter. I should have told everyone beforehand. Never mind, we can work on that. I'm going to wait for Erin to get back. So I found this really cute thing on TikTok this morning. Can I share it, Mary? I got to share this with you guys. Oh, you disabled screen sharing. I think you're going to have to make me co-host or something. This will kind of brighten your day, and then we're going to get serious for a minute. Can I do now? Okay. I hope this works. I don't know if this is going to work, but anyway, we'll see. Can you hear it? You can't hear it. All right, I'm going to play again and see if you can hear it.
Pop out your chest.
Can you hear it?
Breath. You're gonna be okay. Is it loud in your mind? Just take your time. You're gonna be okay.
Let's play that again. This is so cute.
Pop out your chest. Take a deep breath. You're gonna be okay. Is it loud in your mind? Just take your time. You're gonna be okay.
Okay. One more time, then we'll get serious.
Pop out your chest. Take a deep breath. You're gonna be okay. Is it loud in your mind? Just take your time. You're gonna be okay.
Okay. Isn't that cool? So one of the things I wanted to do with this particular, I don't know how, I'm not sure how, if we're going to keep doing these, but this is the second one. So what I wanted to do for all of us is to find a way, oh, there's Bobby, hi, to sort of bring our meditation practice into our daily life, because we're all really, really busy. And we don't often, sometimes we kind of miss our practice, or we don't meditate for a day, or then we start to feel really kind of guilty. Hi, Michael, because we're not doing the things that we said we would do. So I'm just kind of wanting all of us just to kind of relax around it. The thing is, we just have to do the best we can. And the main thing that I'm seeing here is that people are showing up. So that's just the first step. You're here. And if that's all you're managing today, that's fine, because you actually arrived. And we have 5 or 6 people in the Gomper at Tupatonumuling who made the effort to leave home and come out, and it's probably cold and snowing there. So that's just kind of amazing to me. So thank you very much for coming. That's the first thing. So I'm hoping that even just in today's session, you can just get a little bit of a taste of what it would be like just to be in a busy life and then take 5 minutes or even just 2 minutes to stop and have some time for yourself. Because meditation practice, or even any kind of spiritual practice, is not, oh, this is something I have to do. Then it gets put in that basket of all those things I have to do. So this is really for your own nurturing, for your own healing, and for your own self. So it's, I think we have to kind of change the script a little bit and remember this is for us. But we are doing it so we can benefit others eventually, but we need to work on ourselves first. It's that whole thing of, the airlines, they tell you put the oxygen mask on your face before you put it on your child. And the reason for that is because if you don't, you're going to collapse, and so will the kid. So it's a similar, analogy applies to us. We need to take care of ourselves. Then we can take care of others. But if we're out there trying to take care of others and we're completely a mess ourselves, we're just going to mess everybody else up as well. So, Okay. So what I wanted to do this morning before we start, and I think there are some body workers in the room, so I hope I don't lead anyone astray. Let's just start by setting ourselves in our meditation posture. And for those of you who are sitting on chairs, your feet should be flat on the floor, about a hip's width apart. And you can have your I don't feel my sit bones, and it's necessary to raise my sit bones when I'm sitting on a chair. But definitely when I'm sitting in the regular cross-legged position, my sit bones need to be raised because my spine needs to be aligned. And what you tend to do when you're sitting cross-legged without anything to support underneath your sit bones is to kind of fall back like this. And then you can see my whole spine's out of alignment. So the reason to have your body in alignment, your spine in alignment, your shoulders over your hips, is in order to allow all the energy. And also too, on a practical level, the blood, the lymph, the everything that's kind of moving around the body can move much more freely if you're sitting in a nicely aligned position. If you're sitting like this, it sort of affects your breathing, affects the blood flow, affects the lymph flow. And energetically, you need to keep everything kind of flowing through the sort of the center. So that's the first thing. So you'd have your shoulders aligned with your hips. Now, as much as possible, we want to have our head aligned with our shoulders. And we're forward-moving people here in the West. We're always at our computer. We're sitting in the car. We're moving forward. We're always like, I've got so much to do. We're coming from the head all the time. Most of us. So one of the things we would be good to do is just imagine you've got these Spock ears, right? And someone's kind of lengthening your, you could do it with me if you like. Someone's kind of like lengthening that spine, the neck, and then just kind of very gently pulling it back in line with the shoulders. It may not be available for everyone, but you want to get some length in the neck. The cervical spine, as we get older, we develop all these weird habits. We start to bend forward. And at my chiropractor's office, there's a big note right at the desk when you check out saying, stand up straight, just to remind everyone, because as we get older, we're moving against gravity. So our head is moving forward. We're moving forward like this. We're getting weaker in our stomach. So we want to just try and keep ourselves upright as much as we can. And so for people who are sitting on couches, I see two of you there, try not to lean into the couch. So, if you need to take a break or a rest in the session, for sure, lean back. But you want to be sitting up yourself, holding yourself up. So we can imagine, if you like, you can just close your eyes and imagine your spine is a string of pearls of light. And this string of pearls is stretching all the way from the base, all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. So you're getting some length, some space in between those vertebrae, some length along the muscles, along the back of the spine. So now here is where we want to tip our head forward. So this is where we don't want this great big bowling ball of a head to pull us forward like that. We just want to drop the chin very slightly. So if your chin is kind of poking up and falling back, you create agitation in the spine if the cervical spine is kind of crushed or constricted in any way. So you want some length in that area. But you don't want too much forward, because then if your chin is too far down, you're just going to go back to sleep. So the whole point of meditation is to calm ourselves down, to remain very, very alert at this level. We want to get some balance in our lives. And traditionally, you would put the tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth. And the reason for that is if you're going to be meditating for hours and hours and hours on end, like 8 hours a day, you start to dribble and you want to swallow. And so what happens with that is if you're in a very sort of sensitive state, you're deep in meditation, and you hear the slightest noise, you move your body, it can actually disrupt the meditation. So any of you who have done any of those Vipassana courses will have this experience as you get very, very still, and then all of a sudden you have to swallow or move or change position, and you've kind of lost your concentration. So that's the purpose of that. But sort of at our level, we tend to probably not really need that one. And then relax the jaw. It's extremely important. We keep this jaw so tight. Yeah, exactly. Bit of a yawn. Can move the jaw around. And one person starts yawning and everyone else will. Excellent. That's right. And you can massage. Thank you, Anna. You can massage your jaw as well. You can see how tight it is. Amazing. Ah. Okay. Then you can bring your attention to the crown of the head. And just, like when we were kids, I don't know if you did that here in America, but someone would kind of come on top of your head with their fist and pretend they're like breaking an egg. And then you kind of go like this down someone's head, and it feels like you've got egg sliding down your. So we used to do that when we were little. So you can just imagine that. That's how you're relaxing that scalp on the top of your head there. And then just imagine that liquid moving down. It relaxes your face, your eyes, your nose, and your cheeks, and your mouth. And then go to the back of the head. Relax the scalp there. Release any tension there. And then the ear and the inner ear. Back of the tongue and the jaw. Relax the back of the neck. Allow your shoulders to drop down. Your shoulder blades. Relax the throat and the chest and the belly and the limbs, hands, fingers, and feet and toes. And breathe. One of the other things I think we tend to do when we're on the computer is I think I read somewhere they've done some studies. People actually stop breathing when they're at the computer. Of course, you're breathing, but you're not breathing normally. So if you have a watch or on a device that reminds you to get up and move, perhaps also remember to breathe. So take a nice deep breath. And then just notice if there are any sounds in your environment. Just allow those sounds to be there. And then bring the mind back to the breath. And then just focus on the rising and falling of your chest as you inhale and exhale, and allowing your mind to settle and become calm and present in this moment, in this place, whether you're at home or in the Gompa in Santa Fe. Try and get in touch with that place inside you that is still, and it's always available to you. It's always there when you need it. So hopefully in these sessions, we'll learn how to access this at a moment's notice if we need to, in the bus, waiting for the train, waiting at the doctor's, remembering to go in for a moment. So just notice what's arising in your mind. Excitement, boredom, anger, some rumination about something, some concern about work, some problems, and just allow it to arise and try not to follow the thoughts with the mind. So just allow those thoughts to be there. And then try not to judge them. Don't criticize. Don't have opinions. Just be curious as to what is there in your mind, like a scientific observer, just objective. And then there's this beautiful analogy from Mingyur Rinpoche. You're sitting on the bank of a river and you're watching that river flow by. And while you're sitting on the bank, you're free from the river. So let's just bring to mind some people of our life. I think it's always good to, equanimity is a little bit way down the track in terms of the lamb rim, but I think it's something that we can all start working on, even if we're baby beginners at meditation. It's helpful because some of our ruminations, some of our internal stories are based on discriminatory ideas. So bring to mind all the people of your life. So we can start with the people that you love, your friends, your children, your spouses, your besties, work colleagues. And then really bring them to your mind, see them, feel their presence. Try and bring to mind this idea of what you're grateful for with these relationships. And then there's those people in your life who are a little bit more difficult. Try and see those people. And maybe try and get a sense of the pain that they might be in. Maybe try and see things from their point of view. And then there's our strangers who we just ignore all the time. We don't really have a sense of what they might be going through. We're checking out at the supermarket. All we're thinking about is, I need to get home and start cooking, or I've got to get going, or why is this taking so long? But do we have a thought for the person that's actually behind the counter who may have been standing there for several hours without a break? We tend not to think about that. And what's really curious as we bring all these people to our mind is that these friends and these people we don't like and these strangers could all change place at any time. And we never really know when that is going to be. So for those of you who have been, some of us have been meditating together now for almost 2 years. Perhaps over that time, some friends have become strangers, and maybe someone you didn't like became a really dear friend. And maybe someone who was a stranger became a very close friend. So they can change place because of the world and the environment that we live in, this samsara, because of karma, cause and effect. Things change. So really good to try and value and appreciate what we do have in terms of our relationships. Then thinking of them as all being equal, just like you and me, because we all want to be happy. And we're all striving for happiness. And none of us are managing to kind of get there, because we get these things that we think are going to make us happy, like a new phone or something. And then within about a month, the newness of that phone is kind of like worn out. And you may have got a scratch on it. It's like, oh, then after a while, you don't even care. And you're looking, what's the next phone that's going to come out? So there's never any satisfaction in what we think is going to make us happy. Holiday, partners. And then we're all really worried about problems and suffering. And the extent to which we suffer is the extent to which we think about it as suffering in our mind. There's that. But the other thing is we're always going to have problems. We're always going to try and run away from them. They're always going to be there somehow. Something's going to pop up. So we're all equal in this way. Absolutely nothing separates us. Not color, not gender, not culture, not language. We are all the same. And we're all also the same in having this unbelievable capacity for this enlightened mind. Real potential. So it starts by trying to access that stillness inside of us. So we're quite a way in already, and I'm still motivating, but we'll just remember we're doing this session today for the benefit of all these people of our life and for ourselves as we're moving along our path. So now you're all very beautifully meditating, and I want you just to start by trying to access that stillness in your mind. So go back to focusing your attention at the opening of your nostrils and breathe naturally through your nose, paying close attention to the subtle sensations at the opening of your nostrils as you breathe in and out. You can feel very subtle sensations as the air passes, as the small hairs move. Sometimes it feels cooler as you inhale and warmer as you exhale. So just pay attention to all these various experiences. As you breathe, don't follow the air into your body with your mind or out into the surrounding environment. Just place your attention at the opening of your nostrils, on those tiny sensations associated with the breath. Your job is that of a gatekeeper. A gatekeeper doesn't follow people in or out. A gatekeeper sits and pays attention at the gate, and similarly your job is to keep your attention firmly placed on those small sensations at this point only. So we're going to practice this for about 3 or 4 minutes. You know, and Lama Yeshe used to say us Westerners really had a lot of difficulty focusing for more than about 5. So he would recommend 5-minute meditation sessions. So let's just start here let's just do 3 minutes actually. Focusing on the sensation of the air as you're inhaling and exhaling. That's all you need to do. And if thoughts arise in your mind, just bring your mind very gently back to the breath. Bring the mind back to the breath. And just relax for a moment. You can open your eyes, you can move around, or you can stay in meditation if you're there. So now we're going to try a little exercise that helps to develop concentration. So this is something you can do at the very beginning of the meditation. There's many different things we can do, and after this we'll do a little bit of movement. And then some 9-round breathing. So now just check your body, make sure you're nicely aligned. Shoulders aligned with the hips and the spine is lengthening. Take a nice deep breath. So we did this last week. As you inhale and exhale, mentally count each inhalation and exhalation as one. So breathing in and out, 1. Breathing in and out, 2. And see if you can count from 1 to 10 as you concentrate on the sensations in the nostrils associated with the breathing. And if you become distracted, or if the mind wanders on to other things, or moves away from the point of concentration, the nostrils, the breath, then begin your counting again. And if you can remain fully concentrated and reach all the way to 10, that's great. I personally can't do that. But you'll notice if you do this a little bit every day, even just for 2 or 3 minutes, over time, you'll get further and further, closer and closer to 10. So we can just start. Breathe in your own time. Just breathe in. 1. In breath, out breath. 2. In breath, out breath. And so on. So we'll do this for about 2 or 3 minutes. See how you go. And bring the mind back to the breath if you've wandered off. And just relax. So you'll notice if you do this a little bit every day, you will get further down the track than just one or two before, oh, wait, my mind disappeared. It's actually really challenging, this little meditation. It's a very simple exercise, but it really shows us where our minds are going. And if you're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's not the point. And sometimes you have to, I find with myself, I have to be kind of disciplined about whether my mind's actually gone off and thinking about something else or not. You know, sometimes it's like, oh, was I really thinking about? No, I was actually also thinking, but actually, no, there's a big difference between how settled you feel when you're fully concentrated. Okay, so what I want to do now is just relax our shoulders because we've been sitting for 40 minutes, believe it or not. So imagine you're carrying in your hands and just hold them. Actually, I'll stand up. Well, because it gets very difficult with a microphone. But anyway, imagine in your hands 2 buckets, about 20 pounds each, and you're lifting them up and you bring your shoulders. So now I've got those. So bring your shoulders up and then just massage your neck a little bit in between those raised shoulders. And then just drop the buckets. Ha. And then lift the buckets up again. Massage your neck. Ha. And just let that ha out. Maybe some frustration going on in there as well. Okay. Bring them up. Lift up those heavy buckets. And ha. Okay. Now imagine you've got that string of pearls of light, move up and over to the right. And just, if you wish, but don't force anything, just very gently lengthen this muscle here. Very gently. You can pull it with your head, but make sure it's in a line. Make sure your chin's not up or too far forward. Just very gently. And you're sitting up straight. Don't lean over. That's it. It's just the neck that's moving. So stretch the neck, bring your head back very gently, and then tip your head to the side. So imagine you're sitting in between 2 parallel panes of glass. There you go. Nice long stretch. And if you need to encourage the head, do so. But remember, you're stretching out. So remember, lengthen out, stretch over. Now just move your head, tip it down very gently forward. Get some stretch along the back of the neck. Get a stretch along the side as you move to your right side again. And then move the head, tip the head forward, roll the head forward, move to the left. Just repeat, tip the head forward, move to the right, get a nice long stretch here. And then very gently bring your head back up to center. And then just roll your shoulders backwards, forwards, and then just shake it out. Shake, 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 shake. Shake out your hands. Blop, blop, blop. Okay. Little bit of movement. Let's get back. We're going to do some 9-round breathing now. Take a nice deep breath. Okay. So has anyone not done this before, 9-round breathing? Looks like everyone's been doing it. Okay. And so I'm just assuming everyone in the Gompa there knows what they're doing. So the purpose of this meditation, it's usually introduced that, when there's quite a lot of esoteric practices in Tibetan Buddhism. This practice is also used in traditional yoga. It's slightly different in the Tibetan Buddhist tradition. And it's usually something that these meditators are doing before they engage in those more esoteric practices. It's called cleaning the airs. So the airs of the different channels in the body. I won't go into, we're not going to do the complicated version. There's one version that goes into light and this and that. It's awfully complicated. So we're just going to do something very simple, and it's the way Lama Yeshe taught it. So you get yourself nicely aligned. And if you need to, so Lama Yeshe, so in yoga, I know they have this mudra where they use the fourth finger to block the nostril. So if you've been doing it that way, if you do have a yoga practice and you've been doing it that way, just by all means go ahead. But just, Lama Yeshe was just using his index finger. I think that's how he described it in one of the books. So you just do whatever works for you. And you may not need to block your nostrils either. So you start by breathing in through, or maybe I'll just mirror you. You start breathing in through the right nostril. And you imagine you're breathing in blissful, radiant white light. And if you wish, you can count maybe 2, 3, or 4. But don't kind of go like that, because you'll spin out. Nice, gentle breath, steady, slow breath. And then you pause at the top of the breath, and then you can just move that finger over. And as you breathe out through your left nostril, you imagine you're breathing out all this kind of unhealthy desire and attachment, whether it's to food or people or things, grasping, I really need those new shoes, or whatever, hiking. Just breathe that out as thick, black, yucky smoke, and it disappears into space. Not one atom left. You don't breathe it back in again. So you do that 3 times. And then we breathe in through that same left nostril. Bliss, that's right. You might need to blow your nose. Yeah. Blissful, radiant, white light. Can count to 4 if you wish. And then just pause briefly, and then breathe out through your right all your anger energy. So anger can be, anger at yourself, anger at others, jealousy and bitterness and grudges, depression, internalized anger, all this kind of ruminating that we get on top of ourselves about. Oh, I'm so stupid. I shouldn't have done that. Shut up, man. Okay. So now we can stop all of that. So just breathe that out as, like, Michael's just lost it. Just breathe that out as thick, black, yucky smoke. And that disappears into space. And now breathe in through both nostrils, blissful, radiant, white light, pausing at the top of the breath. And you breathe out all your ignorance energy. So if you haven't got any clue what the teachings on emptiness, karma, dependent arising are all about, you can just imagine not knowing something, like not knowing what 1 and 1 equals, not knowing how to get from A to B. But generally what it means is not understanding karma, cause and effect, not understanding reality, the way things truly exist. So you do that 3 times. So everyone's got it. Breathing out through the left, attachment, breathing out through the right, anger, and both nostrils, ignorance. So we're going to do 3 sets of 3. We'll do it in our own time, and just do the very best you can. So now bring the mind back to the breath and just feel. And for 1 minute, let's just check where our counting's at. So again, go back, focusing on the sensations at the entrance of the nostrils. And depending on where, if you've done any of this kind of training before, you might feel it at the base of the nostril, the middle of the nostril, the tip of the nose. Depends on the shape of your nose as well. So for 1 minute, count and see if you can get a little bit further. Everyone just relax. And before we move on, does anyone have anything they want to share? Or anyone have any questions? Just put your little hand up. No? You want to keep going? Before we... Oh, hi, Phyllis. Hi.
Oh, Venerable, when we do the counting, can I do that while I'm washing the dishes, or when I do the garden, or
Yeah, I think you can. It's just when we have external stimuli, we get very easily distracted. But I think try it, see how it goes, and let me know next time we do this. I'd love to know. Or you can just tell me on Monday night how it went. See how it goes. Generally, it's just a way of getting concentration. But something that probably would be helpful if you're doing gardening or doing the dishes is to maybe recite Om Mani Padme Hum and recite a mantra or sing a mantra. And then particularly when you're gardening, because you may be kind of coming across any little bugs or insects and things, the medicine Buddha mantra, which is Taya Ta Om Bekansi Bekansi Maha Bekansi Bekansi Raja Samankate Svaha. So that's also a good one to do. And it can be a meditation as well. You know, meditation doesn't have to be sitting like this. Meditation can be other things as well. And keeping the mind virtuous and keeping the mind still and calm, you know, if you're moving around as well. Yeah, sure. Try it. Let me know. I'd love to know how it went. Okay. Anybody else have anything they want to share? No. Are you just shy? Because now there's like 25 people here. People were much more chatty last week when there was less folk here. Alexis, did you have something you wanted to say? No? Okay. So what I want to do now is pay a little bit of attention to our feet. So I might have to... Oh, someone raised a hand over there. Okay, Tuptun Nobeling.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. When we do any of the stages of breathing, should they be as silent as possible, or should we really be pumping our bellies? Thank you.
Do you mean the 9-round breathing?
Yeah, any
we just
part of
did?
it. Yeah.
Don't
The
pump.
9-round or the sometimes people
Yeah. I think to
do that
start
kind of
with,
thing.
yeah, exactly. And I think it can be that way in yoga as well. And I think when you've probably seen the more advanced practitioners, I think there's some YouTube video where they're doing a lot of those advanced practices, and they do make quite a bit of noise. But I think noise is not noise. It's anyway, breathing quite forcefully. I think for our purpose, I wouldn't do that because you might get dizzy. And just to start with, take it gently. Because the other thing too is it's the meditation is called cleansing the airs. And you don't want to be forcing cleansing the airs. You know what I mean? It could actually disturb the mind. So just gentle, I'd say to start with. And then when you have someone more qualified than me to teach these kinds of things, you can ask them those questions. You know, at what point could I be forcing the air a little bit more? But I think to start with, just very gently breathe out. So yeah, thank you for asking that question. Thanks for clarifying. Anybody else? Oh, sorry. And did that make sense? Did it make
Yes.
sense? Yeah. Okay. All right. Anyone else? No? Okay. So, you know, our feet are what connects us to the earth. And you don't kind of realize how important they are until you actually hurt a little part of your foot. Do you know what I mean? You know, when I was coming back from Hawaii, as they call it, after visiting Pele, who was exploding, that volcano, I tripped and my toe got caught on something. And then I couldn't really walk. I don't know what I did to it. It went bright purple for about a week. I don't know if I broke it or tore or something, but I realized all of a sudden then as I was walking, other parts of my body started to hurt because I was shifting my weight and moving myself. So we need to love our feet a little bit more, I think, than we actually do. So if this is available to you, get one foot and bring it across a knee if you can, and start to massage your foot. You can start at the toes and then the ball of the foot. I'm sorry, you can't really see me, but if I do this, can you see my sock? There you go. There we go. So you can start here, here, and then here. And then I would suggest you get your fist and just get in there, particularly in the arch of the foot and the ball of the foot. And you can get the sort of this part of the foot here and just squeeze it. And there's a lot of acupressure points here as well. Acupressure points here as well. And we kind of, you know, squash our feet into shoes. When you live in countries like Australia, places like Hawaii, a lot of people are walking around with bare feet. A lot of people don't wear shoes. And you feel a little bit more connected to the ground. So I think when I was a child, I hardly ever had shoes on. It was like a bit of a hassle to have to wear them. But now everyone's worried about, oh, you might get cut. Anyway, so then take the other foot. But this is a bit difficult with the microphone, sorry. And just do the same thing. So you're just really trying to get in there. If your thumbs aren't strong enough, you can just get your knuckles. And just pay some attention to the feet there. Grab your toes. You can pull your toes, you know. And then spread the toes out. Go like this a bit. Get that heel again. Okay, then put the feet down on the ground and just kind of, can you hear what I'm doing? Exactly. Just like that. So now I want everyone, for those people who have tennis balls, and for those people who don't, you can just listen. And for those people who have tennis balls, I'm going to unplug my mic, so I'll be on the computer mic. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I need to turn it up. Is that better? Not really. Not super good. Okay, so I will shout. I think this is as good as I can get. But what I want you to do is get a tennis ball. If you have a tennis ball. Yes, excellent. Okay, so can you see my feet? I'm going to put my mic back on in a minute, but you just want to roll tennis ball backwards and forwards under your foot. And really, you can start here. The balls of the feet go to the arch and then the heel. Okay, so do you have that? And you can do it for one foot, then the other. So I'm going to plug myself back in again. I'm going to try and work this out. Do some movement with you guys. You need to be able to hear me. Okay. Okay, so let's do our feet now. So you have those tennis balls under your feet. You can start, but actually start with the right foot. Just put as much weight on it as you can. So really get into the ball of the foot. It's probably better if you're standing actually, because you can put more weight into it. So go from the little toe, the balls of the feet, the big toe, then go into the arch. Oh, that feels good, hey? But you didn't realize that there was so much kind of tension underneath the feet. And then go to the heel without popping the ball out. Really try and get into those feet there. Okay. Then go to the left foot. Start with the toes and the balls of the feet, the arches, and the heels. Just massaging our feet here, waking our feet up. Okay, so now some of us are standing. If you'll bear with me, I'd like to try another form of microphone because I'd like us to do a bit of movement. So just bear with me for a moment, have a little break, have some. And if anyone needs a bio break, you let me know. Does anybody want a bio? No one wants a bio break. Okay. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Wow.
we can hear you.
Oh, and is it clear? It's clear. Yay.
Yes.
Okay. So how do your feet feel? A little bit better? So, okay, then I want, can you see me? Can you see my feet?
Yes, we can see.
Okay, good. So I want you to go back to what we were doing last week. And I know all of a sudden we're running out of time again. So just stand up and roll through those feet. Moving forward, bend your knees, moving back, bend your knees, moving forward. For those people in the Gompa, if you weren't here last week, we started working on a practice that I'm training in right now called Tai Chi Cho, which is a simplified form of Tai Chi. And this is a moving meditation. And it's moving, but you're basically playing with energy. You're playing with the chi, which is what we're doing when we're meditating as well, to a certain extent. Because we are all energy. We are all interconnected. So just move the feet backwards and forwards. It's actually quite calming, just kind of moving like this. And you can get in touch with your little bit of stillness this way. You can do this anywhere. You can do this while you're waiting in line at the supermarket. So now, what I want you to do is rub your hands together like this. And slightly pull them apart. What's in between there? What's in there? Does it? It's not nothing. Something's there. Something. Okay. And then just put that on your eyes. Nice to relax eyes. Okay. So now we know there's energy around us, right? So we're in this parallel position. So just as best you can imagine you've got like a bath of warm water around you in a pool of warm water, and you're pushing that water aside as you're rocking forward. So pushing that water forward, bringing that water back, turning it around. Bringing the water back, turning it around. So this is the very first movement. They call it rocking motion. Bend your knees. I'm sorry, I've got robes on. You can't really see what my knees are doing. So this is also something you can do anywhere. And you'll notice when you're doing this, you start to get a little bit still. You can get in touch with that stillness. You know, if meditation's difficult for you, sitting down is difficult for you. If you have a back problem, if you start to stiffen up, if you're sitting too long, you know, you can always get up and do something like this. Okay, just shake it out. Shake out the feet, shake out the hands, shake out the neck. Oh, right. Any questions? Any questions, anyone? Did you enjoy that? Kind of. We can do more later, but somehow I'm always running out of time. We've got 20 minutes left, and what I would really like to do is, today is a Tara day, so we are doing a Tara Puja later on this afternoon. But what I'd like to do now is a wee Tara practice, if everybody's happy to do that with the mantra. Yeah, does that sound good? A wee, yeah, a Scottish wee. Yeah, I live with a Scottish nun called Angie, who you know, Venerable Angie. Some of you know her. And, you know, I've known her for so many years, and I still can't understand what she says when she gets going. You know, she's got this really strong Scottish accent. I'm like, whoa, what? Okay, I'm going to change my headset again. All right. How are the Gompa people doing? Are you all, I just see tankas and statues. I'm assuming you're there. All right. So where are we? So Tara is a Buddha of action. She's kind of cool, and she comes in many different forms. And some of them are scary and wrathful. I'm just going to find that. Okay. There's 21 of them. And you'll see if you come, that's if you come this afternoon, when we do the praises to Tara, you will get to hear about all of them, because we'll do some of them in English. But they're quite kind of, some of the Taras you wouldn't want to meet in the dark, in the night, if they were upset with you. That's kind of, you'd want those Taras as your friend to protect you. But strangely enough, I do find, when I call on, I don't know how this really works, but sometimes I find if I'm really calling on Tara with some kind of genuine, things shift and change. I don't know. I can't explain it. I don't know how it works. And I don't think it's just to do with me making it up, or there just being some kind of weird faith or blind faith or something. It's just there's definitely something out there. So, and this is the form of Tara. She's all about action. And you'll see when we go through how she's sitting, she's just ready to get up and help. And this beautiful feminine energy, very powerful, strong feminine energy. We all have a male and female side to us, I heard. They've been talking about that for years. I don't know how it works now with if you're gender neutral. But anyway, I think it's probably going to have to shift. But it does seem to be that you don't necessarily have to be a woman to be practicing. You don't have to be identifying as female to be practicing Tara. Anyway, that's just the way she turns up in this particular tradition, as the female form. So let's just start. So we can settle now. Look, see, I talk so much, time just runs. Okay. Okay. So just settle back into your meditation posture. Alexis has got her puppy with her there. Okay, puppy's needing some attention. Okay. All right. So check your posture again. Check your neck and your shoulders, and remember those beautiful feet of yours that are connecting you to this earth. And try and get in touch with your stillness. If you've managed to touch upon any stillness in this session today, try and go back to that spot. So Tara is emerald green, translucent, radiant in color. So you can imagine that she's in front of you. If you don't have an idea of what she looks like, you can just imagine this beautiful green light body in front of you. And she's seated on a lotus and a moon cushion, which is sitting in the lotus. And she's a manifestation of all of the Buddhas, omniscience and love and compassion. And it's almost like a hologram you're looking at. Her left leg is drawn up, and this signifies complete control over desire. And her right leg is extended, indicating that she's ready to get up at any moment to aid all beings, and remembering all beings equally, not just the ones we think should be helped. And her left hand is at her heart. It's in the refuge gesture. So the palm is facing outward, and the thumb and the ring finger are touching. The remaining 3 fingers are raised. So this is what it would look like from where you are. Her right hand is on her right knee in the gesture of granting sublime realization. So the palm is facing outward. And the fingers are loosely pointing down. And each hand, she's holding the stem of a blue Utpala flower. And this is the symbol of the unblocking of the central channel. This central channel cannot be found through surgery. It's not physical. but it's talked about in both the yoga and the Buddhist traditions. It's running from the base all the way up through the crown of the head. And this Tara is beautifully dressed. She's wearing, you know, these silken robes in the Royal Indian style. So harem pants and scarves around her neck. She's wearing jewelry. She has this 5-pointed crown, completely embedded with jewels. And these 5 points in the crown represent the 5 Buddha families, but that might be getting a little bit too detailed. So just 5-pointed crown encrusted with jewelry on her ears, around her neck, around her arms, around her waist, feet and toes. And she's smiling at you with love and compassion. So happy to see you. Non-judgmental, not an ounce of criticism. So you can imagine all the people of your life are here with you. The people you are close to are behind you. The ones you don't like so much maybe in front, eyeball to eyeball, as Venerable Robina says. And all the rest are either side, and you're completely surrounded by all sentient beings as far as the eye can see. And you think, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dhamma, and the Supreme Assembly. By my practice of giving and other perfections, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. So we just think, may everyone be happy and have everything that causes them to be happy. And may everybody be free from suffering and everything that causes suffering. And may all beings be inseparable from the happiness that is free from suffering. And may all sentient beings abide in equanimity. Just what we were doing at the beginning of the session. Free from attachment for some and anger towards others. These are the things that hold others distant, some close, some distant. We're always going to have people that we have stronger karma with than others. Sometimes we need to calm some of our emotions down a little. So think with Tara. Recall any special request you want to make. Perhaps success in your spiritual or worldly activities, the health and long life of your relatives, friends, or yourself, or anything you want. With these needs in mind, we can just think about this prayer, which is actually really beautiful. And this is the prayer that we'll do this afternoon towards the end of the practice. Om I prostrate to the goddess, foe destroyer, liberating Lady Tara, homage to Tare, savioress, heroine, with two Tare, dispelling all fears, granting all benefits with Ture, to her with sound Svaha, I bow. So now just imagine you've got Tara in front of you, right? Beautiful green Buddha. She's gorgeous. And imagine that this is also the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. So light is pouring nectar and light, running down these rays from her heart to you. It's like raindrops running down a wire. And they're flowing into you through the crown of your head and all the sentient beings around you. And we can start by remembering all the problems of all the people that you are praying for, and think of all the sufferings and troubles experienced by sentient beings surrounding you, people fighting wars, feeling sick with COVID or lonely, people who are angry or proud or jealous. And you can imagine that as the rays and nectar enter their bodies and minds, their suffering and the cause of their suffering are completely extinguished as we recite the mantra. Om Tare Tutare Ture Swaha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soham. 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 So imagine completely purified, yourself and all the beings around you, and your body feels blissful and light. And now this time, imagine rays of light again, with nectar running down them like raindrops running down a wire, emanating from Tara's heart. And the rays and the nectar flow continuously, again reaching you and all the beings surrounding you, except this time blessing you with all the qualities of all the Buddhas: wisdom, compassion, kindness, generosity, creativity, intelligence, unbelievable capacity for being able to heal, incredible capacity of the mind, knowing the thoughts of all sentient beings at all moments. Just imagine you're being blessed, all these extraordinary qualities. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. 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 And just really try and imagine you've received all the blessings from all the Buddhas, from your teachers, and your body feels blissful and light. And now, just imagine that Tara comes to the crown of your head, facing the same way as you, about an inch above the crown of your head, 1 or 2 inches, and then just kind of melts and dissolves into you through your crown and comes to your heart. And imagine that your body and speech and mind become one with your, if you have a teacher, your teacher's body, speech and mind, and with Tara's body, speech and mind. And Lama Yeshe used to call this union oneness. It's very sweet. So just imagine you become one with all these unbelievable qualities as we recite the mantra. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soham. 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 And just imagine your body becomes blissful and light. And remember to breathe, particularly when we're doing these sessions, because we've now been sitting in front of the computer for about an hour and a half. I noticed myself stopping and breathing several times. So holding my breath, I'm not sure how to explain that, but really try now after we've almost finished. So maybe go outside, take a walk, move around, drink some water, then have a coffee, have some hot water first. Because, you know, believe it or not, we've done quite a few practices that are quite cleansing. We've done a little bit of movement. We've done some concentration. We've done some visualization. We've done some mantra. So, and we've done some purification in there as well. So try and keep that energy with you as much as you can throughout the day. Try and stay still and try and remember a little bit of equanimity when it pops in your mind. When anger at the person who's driving in front of you way too slow, maybe they're old or maybe they're scared. Anyway, so any more questions? We've got like 1 minute or 2 minutes left. Does anybody have anything they want to share? Pop your hand up. Anybody? Anything? Hi, Erin and Terry. Go ahead.
Hi, Venerable. Thank you so much for this
Hi.
teaching. It was amazing. Can I ask you something about my 35 Buddhas meditation instead of what
Sure.
we did?
Yeah.
I am a pretty novice practitioner. I'm just recently felt ready to take my Bodhisattva vows just for kind of a measurement of that. And when I do my 35 Buddhas in the morning, I do it, I have a recorded version, I do it with that. And the first step is, establish the visualization in front of you. What happened about a week ago is instead of, I started with the kind of two-dimensional picture in front of me, but the Buddhas kind of popped out and became three-dimensional, and they're around me and life-size. And it feels really good. I mean, it feels very authentic to have them not as a picture, but I'm a little worried that I'm exceeding my capabilities. I don't want to get in trouble, lunging forward.
Well, I think that sounds amazing. And I think if you are because you're obviously quite a visual person, so if you are able to visualize them around you in that way, that's fantastic, because that's actually where they really are. They're all around us, everywhere, all the time. And I would just rejoice in that. And you don't know how long that's going to last. It might disappear in a week. But while it's happening, enjoy it. It means you must be really fully concentrated and you're very into it, I think that sounds beautiful. Yeah, just enjoy it. And yeah, and don't get too freaked out about it because it might disappear and change and shift. But definitely is better to have a visualization like that there and in light than it is on a piece of paper in front of you. So I rejoice for you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. That's great. Well done.
Thank you.
Yeah. Anybody else? How's everyone doing in the Gompa? Oh, silence from the Gompa. Is there a hand up in the Gompa? Hi. Oh, that means okay. Or do you want to say something?
Yeah, going very well here. Thank you.
Oh, good. I'm glad. I would love to be able to see you guys. All right.
We're working on it.
Oh, good. Okay. Thank you, Matt. And thank you for showing up, all of you there in the Gompa. And thank you very much, everyone, for coming today. We've had quite a big crowd, so it's very nice to see you all. I don't know. There's some of you here I don't know. Beth, I don't know. Phyllis, I think I've seen you before. Rosemary, I'm not sure. And Marion, I hope you enjoyed yourselves today. And for all the rest of you. Oh, there they are. Wow. Hi, everyone. Hi. Okay. Nice to see you. Gosh, it's beautiful. Look at that. Wow. Gorgeous floor. Nice chair. Wow. What a stunning place. You guys did an amazing job. It's so beautiful. Wow. That's gorgeous. It was very inspiring. Now we all want to come and visit, Matt.
We need to fill this place up. So yes, come visit.
Okay.
Move here like Lou did.
Lou moved there. I can't move right now, but maybe in the future. Okay, everybody. Lots of love. And let's just do a very brief dedication. So just think of all the people of your life and just dedicate for all of them and for yourselves any creative energy, any insights you may have attained or received, or just somehow something new came to your mind, some ideas, something to do with your practice, something settled in your heart. So just dedicate that and rejoice and dedicate for the benefit of yourself as you're moving along your spiritual path. Okay. Lots of love, everybody. Do take care. And I hope to see you again. Matt, are we doing this again?
I hope so.
Yeah. Okay. Well, let me know. I had fun. And so if we do it again, maybe we can develop a bit more of a program moving forward. So you guys let me know what you liked, what you didn't like so much, and what we need to do more of. Okay. I want to help support you all in your practice and your meditation. And yeah, let's just do this thing together. You don't have to do it by yourself. Okay. All right. Lots of love, everybody. See you soon. I'll see some of you Monday.
Thanks, everybody.
Okay. Thanks, Matt. Thank you, Mary, for hosting, and all the other bouncers, the nightclub bouncers who keep the Zoom bombers out. Okay. Lots of love to you. I think that was Shayla and Michael. Okay. Bye-bye, everybody. And maybe Anna as well. Okay. Bye, everyone. Thank you.